is up, adventurers and travelers? I'm Daiquiri Magic, and welcome to Tavern Talk. I am joined today by my beautiful wife, Strawberry Daiquiri. Say hello.
Hello.
And I have my buddy Silver, the survivor, joining me as well. Say hello, Silver.
Hello, you can't get rid of me. Always here.
I think you're gonna just start being a regular on the show. I think we're just gonna have to start finding another guest, and you're just gonna be like the permanent host to this as well.
Yes, I'm that guy that's always in the corner of the the bar. Just here every night.
Just holding
Nothing else going on.
Just holding on to your drink, rather weirdly, like just stroking me, like, yes, we're gonna be talking about
I'm the
this
mysterious stranger in the corner. Always there. Never says much. Just kidding. I say way too much.
All right. So let's hop right into the show. So tonight we're talking about movies, books, and things we want to see. So appetizer questions. I'm not gonna lie, my appetizer questions tonight are kind of weak, but it don't matter. It's still gonna be fun. So first question of the night for both of you: what is your favorite genre of movie?
Favorite genre?
Maybe this isn't a one sauce question.
It really depends on mood.
That's fair. But like, what do you find yourself watching the most, though?
I guess maybe like action adventure ish, or I'm just listing off video game genres.
Hey, I mean, action adventure movies.
My favorite movies are RPGs. Thank you very much.
Turn-based. So Mario. So you like Mario? I see.
Yeah, that was actually a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Saw that with my wife for our anniversary. We went to a really fancy theater where they give you like proper meals and stuff like that. It was fun.
I feel like those theaters are becoming more of the norm. But anyway, back to the movie question. Honey, what's your favorite genre of movie? Let me guess, dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are super sweet.
According to our toddler, I would say that it's basically PJ Masks. But I can take myself. I'm gonna have to say, yeah, dinosaurs. I got nothing.
Literally, if it has a dinosaur in it, you're just ecstatic. Yeah. It could be a romance with a dinosaur, like, romance between one dinosaur and a human. It's happening. That sounds really awkward.
A book, but I'm too afraid to read it.
There was a book series where dinosaur and human relations were a thing that I got into as a kid.
That's not what I expected you to say.
Sounds really weird, but it totally came out of left field. I'm like, oh, dinosaurs, this is really cool. Yeah, dinosaurs. They ride dinosaurs. They fly with dinosaurs. They,
dinosaurs
yeah, they do. Yeah, they ride dinosaurs.
Oh God.
Right.
Oh God. Oh God. All right.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that graphic, but there was like a whole thing of just like, oh yeah, you could totally marry a dinosaur, and that is about as far as it went. And I'm like, I'm suddenly very uncomfortable with this series.
I feel like dinosaur franchises are amazing, along with like shark franchises, because it's either going to be really good or really cheesy. Like a lot of horror movies are starting to get to that point. It's either going to be really gory or really cheesy. But my favorite theme for a dinosaur movie right now would have to be Velocipaster.
Velocipaster.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I need to watch it still, but I definitely the trailer for it just makes it good. And then right now there is a Hunger Games Jurassic Park movie that we started on Amazon. It's called Jurassic Games.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like these guys get thrown into virtual reality, but if they die, they die. If they die in the game, they die in real life. So it's like Sword Art Online met Jurassic Park met Hunger Games.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it looks really good, but the CGI is very bad. But again, I'm for it.
It's got some rough ratings too, which means it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Sounds like a good time.
So next question for you guys: when it comes to TV, would you prefer a mystery, a drama, or an action?
Is this back kind of basically a genre question again? But now you've narrowed the scope.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, what were the options again?
Mystery, drama, or action?
I like me a good mystery.
Mystery.
Yeah, I agree. I like having mystery. I also do really like a lot of action as well, but if I could definitely pick just one to watch at a time, I like being confused and trying to figure out the puzzle as like the show goes on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel more invested. If it's an action, it's kind of like I'm watching all the pretty colors and funny punches, but at the end of the day, my brain is doing no work.
Yeah.
I I definitely like the mystery a little bit more. Like CW had a lot of good mystery shows coming out, and along with action because they had all those DC shows coming out. But I definitely like the mystery shows because if it's really well written, you're invested the entire time, and then like the twist at the end, it always gets me. I love like figuring out who might have done it, and then realizing that I was way off in left field. There's a show on I think it's on Fox and Hulu right now called Mystery Kitchen. I couldn't do the show to save my life, but trying to see how these chefs decipher what is like being cooked currently or what was cooked, and they have to recreate it. Astounding that they can even do that. It's amazing to see that how their brains work to do that.
I would like to note that I've been wrong every episode of what I thought the food was gonna be. Just putting
Do
that
they
out.
get to? Do they get to smell it too while it's
Yes,
cooking?
they
and
can do
stuff?
everything.
Okay. So
You
as a
can taste
viewer,
and
you do
smell
have
things.
less information than the
True.
people who are. You got to still get to taste, smell. All you get is hearing and sight. You don't get to touch anything either. So yeah, you're
That's
working with 2 while they're working with
That's
5.
true. It's actually a really, really unique show, though. I definitely recommend for people to watch it. It's so fun.
It sounds cool.
It definitely is unique. I've actually gotten a few things right, and I'm very proud of the fact that I can get some of these right. But like the current season that's on right now, dude, I'm left field. They're in right field. I'm in center field, maybe left field, and sometimes I'm at first base. I don't even know.
Well, they've changed it up. Usually it stays the same, but this season they decided to throw curveballs to everyone. Like even the cooks are like, "Wait, they've never done this before."
I think that's something that's going on in the world right now. It's going on in TV. It's going on in like the workforce. People are getting complacent. They see what's happening on TV, and they're like, "Oh, we can do that," and they're more of expecting it now because like you could see that in any of Gordon Ramsay's shows with like Hell's Kitchen, Master Chef,
Yeah.
the show that we're talking about right now. What is it called? I actually forgot what.
Crime Scene Kitchen.
I always want to say Mystery Kitchen, but you've seen that they're like complacent, like they know what to expect. So the judges or the host of the show are changing it up and they're making it harder. It's kind of like why I like shows where like they adapt to the complacency and they're like, "Oh, you guys think you can do all this? Cool, let's make it harder." I dig it. All right, last question for appetizer round before we hop into the main course question because I'm actually excited for tonight's main course question. What is your favorite game show? Oh,
I got my answer.
you got your answer. You don't have your answer.
But Strawberry Daiquiri sounds like she's got her answer more excited.
Oh no.
Eager to share.
That was as in I don't really watch
Oh.
any of those, so I was just trying to figure out. I don't know a single one by name. I can tell you what the people look like, the host, but that's about it.
Can you describe the game show at all?
Yeah, of course, people stand in the front and answer questions.
Wow.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah.
No, I guess the one that I would have to pick is the one that we watched not too long ago, which I'm totally gonna butcher the explanation of it. But you get 2 people, and then they have like
The wall.
Yeah, the wall with the like little connecting balls, and you drop them down, and then they answer the question based off of that. And then at the end of the round, one person goes to the back, and they're hidden, and they can't see what the like question is, or something like that, or something. I don't quite remember the ending.
Yeah. So
But they base off of all the money that they could either win or lose, depending on how well they know each other in the back.
It's Plinko. They play Plinko. They drop. Yeah, they play Plinko, and then they have to work together to get questions right. And then the more questions they get right, the more they get to drop. So
yeah,
that's a really good show. What you got?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I like Family Feud.
Now.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yes, Family Feud is still.
I thought it was just a game, like a board game. I forgot it was an actual show too.
I mean, you could have said the Great British Baking Show is it's technically a game show.
No,
That was more of a.
no.
It's a cooking show, board game, and competition. Yeah, I mean, but I mean that's what all the game shows are too. I'm gonna get so much. I'm gonna get hate for that in the comments.
No, we're not doing that. Absolutely not.
I will say the only reason I like Family Feud though is because of Steve Harvey.
I
Yes.
yeah.
The game show itself is rather lackluster, but the host, he's awesome.
When
He
the
Top tier.
really puts it
when the
together.
hosts get into it, the show is so much better. But if the host isn't into it, it's not that fun. That's why I think like a lot of those older game shows on GSN used to like not do so well because the hosts were like, "All right, so what's your answer today? All right, 100 points. Is that the answer? Oh no, I guess you got it wrong. Sucks to be you.
It sucks to be. They just insult him. Just you're terrible.
I mean,
Why'd you even come out here today?
yeah, basically. You know what's funny? I asked that question and I can't even answer my own question. No,
Because I took the best answer.
you really did, because that was going to be my answer, but I don't want to duplicate on answers. Because Steve Harvey's Family Feud, when especially his reactions to the most inappropriate, he asked an inappropriate question, he gets an inappropriate answer, and he gets that face of like, "Why would you say such a thing, sir?"
What about whose line is it anyways? Is that a game show?
It's not technically a game show because the
Oh.
points don't matter in that show. Yes, I did just say the catchphrase of whose line is it anyway. That's a comedy show. Wheel of Fortune would be a good one to say, but
It feels so vanilla.
it really does feel so vanilla. There's so many. Oh, chain reactions are
What's
really.
wrong with vanilla?
It's a good
Yeah.
flavor of ice cream, but sometimes you need something with sprinkles. Just saying. Anyway.
Scoot stool a little bit
Whoa,
farther
whoa,
away.
Okay, hold up.
Okay, Minotaur just said probably one of the best game shows.
Wipeout.
Ooh,
Is that because we
Ah.
played All In or whatever it's called yesterday?
Yeah,
that felt like a wipeout, but with
against all
spikes.
odds, dude. Oh,
Against all odds, that's it.
yeah. Wipeout is actually another great one to talk about. Or
The ninja one.
yeah, American Ninja Warrior. That's a really good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
So
Oh no,
Is that a
the
game show though, or
lava
is that another
one.
competition
the
one?
floor is lava is that's a good answer too.
That's a yeah.
God, I feel like we could just have a whole show based around game shows. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the appetizer round now because if we keep going, we're probably not gonna stop. We need to get to our main question because I think tonight's main question is going to be exciting for everybody. So let's hop right into the main course. Main course question of the night is: what movie from way back when, like from your childhood, would you want to see reimagined today with updated graphics? I'm going to let Silver start with this question because I feel like he and I are going to be on point with this one.
Wait, you think we're gonna have the same answer?
Yes.
Movie with updated graphics. We're gonna have the same answer.
I think so. If not, hey, at least we have more to talk about.
I don't know. So here's my thing. I don't really care for the updated graphics of this time period. I much prefer practical effects. I feel like all the older Jurassic Park movies are so much more fun to watch. Not just because they're better written, but also because they're like the practical effects look so much better than the CGI today. Even though CGI is pretty impressive, it's just like the practical effects just make it feel more real, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even when I'm just like, oh, I really like that movie, it's like I don't know if I would change it. It's like they did an awesome job for their time period with the technology that they have. So it's just like,
And that's what I mean though. Like, so like with this question, it's going to be a very weird question. So you're definitely right when it comes to the CGI, but I definitely feel like there are some movies that nailed their CGI, nailed their scene shooting with their CGI, that I think updated graphics to like an older movie could come into play a little bit better and make certain things better within the movie. And like one movie that I was thinking of, just because I want to get this one out of the way because I know I'm gonna receive some hate for this. I do believe the original trilogy needs a bit of updating. The original trilogy of Star Wars needs a bit of a
okay.
now hear me out, right?
No, please go on. Please go on.
So take a lot of people hate on the prequel trilogy, right? You know, you got Jar Jar Binks, everyone hates that, right? But the lightsaber choreography within all of those movies was phenomenal, especially in the third movie with Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Now take that and apply that to episode 4. There actually is someone actually did reimagine that scene where Vader was more malicious within that. He was more aggressive because he was more in tune with the dark side. Granted, what they did back then in the 1960s with Star Wars: A New Hope, it was still awesome, and that back then that was horrifying. But what they've updated now doesn't really show what Vader was truly all about. Vader has been depicted to be ruthless, aggressive, and all these things, especially in some of the newer shows. That I feel like if we were to have him have that scene reshot, along with the throne room scene within episode 6 and the Bespin scene in episode 5. those could be a lot more aggressive with it, even if he's holding back a little bit against Luke, says he's questioning the dark side. But that could be updated. And then the starfighter scenes, they were amazing back then. They could be better now. And my best example for that would be a new Rogue One, because the Battle of Scarif space duel was probably one of the best shot scenes in Star Wars so far.
Okay, so yeah, so when you had asked me this question, my first thought actually was the original trilogy. But then I remembered that they've already released the original trilogy multiple times with quote unquote updated graphics.
Yes, you're not wrong.
To the point where I'm almost just like, if they released it again with updated graphics, I'm like, I'm not certain. There comes a point where they're like, they kept adding to it, and it did feel like, yeah, it did feel like there was much more that they added that really improved what was already there. Like sometimes it's like, oh, that's kind of cool, and other times I'm like, okay, I'm not sure why they needed to put that there, or it's just like, I don't know, they kept messing with it, and I'm kind of tired of the rehashing of Star Wars to the point where I'm like, I want something new. please give me something new. So it's just wrong. Like, so I understand that whole of just like, yeah, they could do it better, but it's also just like, I'm kind of tired of them touching that. But you're absolutely right. The lightsaber scenes in the original trilogy are absolutely dookie compared to what they've become. Same with the starfighting scenes. Like, so if anything, if they were to re-release it, just edit the war part of Star Wars.
Yes, and that's something that I definitely want to clarify. I was like, don't touch the movie whatsoever, except update those specific scenes. Like, everything else about the movie is fantastic. The acting from Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford and all the other actors within that movie, amazing. Don't touch that. Don't recast that. Don't reimagine it. Don't do that. Just remake those scenes and show it like that, because I think it could be, again, the short that was released on YouTube, I forget what it's called, but they really did a good job.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Like, that's what I want to see.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
So, sweetie, how you want to build on that one, honey?
Well, I'm not going to talk about Star Wars, so sorry about that, guys. I never really watched that. Well, I mean, I watched it. Hold on. Whoa, wait. That was the wrong choice of words before everyone jumped at me. I did watch it, but during that time, I would prefer Jurassic Park over watching Star Wars, so I can't answer any questions you might throw at me about Star Wars, so I'm just gonna be here. But if I definitely could, I would prefer a more book accurate version of Jurassic Park. I think there was so many really amazing things in. Sorry, is that better? Can you hear me better? Okay. Sorry about that. So let me know if I still sound too far away. But so I believed that I definitely agree with what you said earlier, Silver, about how the animatronics were just so incredible in the first movies compared to the new age of Jurassic, like Jurassic World instead of Park. However, if I could have the original people who worked on the T-Rex, they actually had only, I think they said 3 scenes where animatronic and the rest was actually CGI for the T-Rex. So if we could have had those people doing that kind of skill with this now a day and age ability of CGI, I feel like those movies would be phenomenal. And they also said, I believe, for the Velociraptors, those were animatronics. And I think the biggest thing is back then, those animatronics, we also didn't have the greatest skill of keeping them in check. So sometimes they would move incredibly fast and be scary, which is what we wanted in these movies. Where in the CGI now, you just can't do that because they're also working upon a human puppet kind of thing. So I feel like if you could have that ability of the original people who did their research when they were building these designs and now use this amazing CGI and combine those two together, I feel like it would be phenomenal. And I would love that. But
absolutely.
I don't know if they would ever do that.
I think when it comes to the animatronics within Jurassic Park, I think only when like the heads were shot or like when certain like feet were shot, those were the animatronics. But I know in the actual full body scenes of the raptors, I definitely know that was CGI because I've watched them build that from layer to layer in their behind the scenes stuff, because it's really cool to watch that kind of stuff to be watched. But you also did touch on something which is going to be the next topic that we're going to be talking about, which was books that we want to see turned into movies. And I definitely agree with you because of what I've been watching lately. I would love to see Jurassic Park, but more book accurate Jurassic Park, where not all the heroes get to survive, but all the villains get to die as well. That would be amazing to see. And like you said, practical, like you guys have built on this really well too. Practical effects, I think, make a movie because you're putting more heart and soul into it. Don't get me wrong, with CGI, you're putting a lot of work into it. But you could tell, especially with some of these lower budget movies, you're not putting all your heart and soul into it because they're just not fine tuned enough. And maybe it is because of the budget and all that. But you can definitely tell when people are trying their hardest to throw in that amount of CGI and work into it, and it looks really crisp. And then you can tell when something was just out of their post, and it looks really awful.
Yeah, that is very true. And you are correct about that with the T-Rex, the one scene. And part of why they also wanted to go to CGI on the T-Rex was because they were having lots of issues with it randomly turning on and almost hurting people. Like the one scene with the kids inside the car and the T-Rex head comes through the top. That wasn't actually supposed to happen. The head broke off because of the weight, and those kids were literally trapped inside of there with almost, I think they said it was like 300 to 400 pound head, just, and they were trying to hold it up with this thin piece of glass, and they were truly screaming in fear. And
And
they
they're sitting there
decided,
like, this is great cinema. Wow.
yeah,
The worst part of it, that's what happened. They literally said, even when the kids were literally panicking, they were like, keep filming, don't stop, don't you stop.
yeah,
These
they're
are
like,
the
"We'll
best
get you out
screens
in a
they've done all
moment."
night.
Yeah. They're like, "We'll get you out in a moment. Just keep doing what you're doing."
You've heard of Five
You look
Nights at
like you're
Freddy's?
really fearing for your life right now.
You've heard
Yeah.
of Five Nights at Freddy's. Welcome to One Night at Jurassic Park. Dude, like literally though, I feel like a lot of that's one thing with practical effects though, is like practical effects do have that tendency to they can fail.
Like Jaws, with the one girl broke her hip on the Jaws
Yep.
scene.
Ooh.
Or
Yeah.
does it move the way you want it? So most of Jaws, that's actually another funny one I want to talk about. So most of Jaws, when they shot the underwater scenes and you could see the shark swimming by, that was a real great white shark swimming by. Bruce was an animatronic, but Bruce was only used so many times. And if you don't know why, Bruce broke a lot. Bruce broke so many times they could only use him for like so many scenes. So any other time you saw the shark swimming in the water, it was actual footage of a great white. No one was obviously in the water because you're not going to put anyone's life in danger with that. But yeah, they literally said, I think it was a 10-foot great white, I think is what they said. So it's really cool to see like how they come up with the ideas for some of the more intricate shots they do for their movies.
Well, yeah, like that's one thing I really liked about the older movies is that they didn't have the CGI. Like Lord of the Rings, almost every scene for the background, they actually were moving across basically the whole like US trying to find these areas that would match the description of Tolkien's books.
Yep.
Where nowadays they just do CGI, green screens, but back then like they did their research, and I was just always impressed with that. And nowadays it almost feels like they kind of got lazy a little bit about it, or
Yep.
maybe that's just me.
All right.
That's
so,
the curse of technology. The better it
Yeah.
gets, the more lazy we become.
For real
Yeah.
though. All right. So second topic that I want to touch on because we are slowly running out of time, but I do want to get to this topic because I'm super stoked. I'm super excited for this one, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. Is there a book that you would love to see? And you kind of already answered this question, Strawberry. Is there a book you want to see captured in cinema, but as accurate as possible to the book? Like every character is accurate, every scene is accurate, all the dialogue accurate. What would you want to see?
I have two.
What you got?
Is it all right if I go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the first one is I really wanted the Aragorn series to do better.
Yes. Oh,
The
sorry,
books
go
were so good. Yeah, I'm glad. Hey, somebody else. I was expecting like silence after that. It's just like, what?
No,
What series?
Aragorn is a good series.
I had a full-on
Yes.
rant about this like 2 days ago.
She did. We
Yeah.
went on a 40-minute walk, and 20 minutes of it was Aragorn. Trust me, I know.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
on board with this.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But yes,
Oh,
the
Lord.
Aragorn series was done so dirty. The best thing that came out of the one movie that they did make was Saphira looked great. That's all I can say. They nailed the dragon. Woo. Everything else,
and that was about
absolute
it.
garbage. The elf didn't even have elf ears. Like, what's going on here?
Why do all elves have to have pointy ears there, sir?
I don't know. I just almost certain
Yeah,
that they were supposed to have pointy ears in the books, and she didn't have them, and I'm just like, this is weird.
All right, what's your other one?
The other one is the Percy Jackson series.
Yeah.
Oh my
Another
God,
one that
you
could have been
literally
such good
stated
cinema,
both
but
that we have talked about.
okay,
Talking
because I
about
feel
this
like it's a
on-
pretty popular
it
opinion
is.
of
No, it is.
that
They
they
did that.
sucked and could have been done better.
You're not wrong. I think they actually are getting it done better too.
They are
They are,
talking about
yeah.
it. Isn't it supposed to come out in like 2025, I think?
I have no idea if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think they were talking about remaking it, and it was supposed to be book accurate. We'll see if they actually do that though.
Yeah, the most I've heard about how it's been going is I know that they've casted a African American for Annabelle,
Oh.
which I have no problem with that, other than the fact that I'm kind of concerned. Like, whenever I hear like, oh, they're going to be changing how this character looks, at the end of the day, as long as the actor's great, it's good. I'm just concerned of what that might possibly mean. Like, if they're willing to change that, how much more are they going to change again? You know, like we already had so much change in the first movie that they make, and then the second movie, which I haven't even bothered to see.
Wait,
And it's
there's a
just
second
like,
movie.
Yeah.
like if we're already starting things with a change right off the step,
Yeah, there's 2 movies.
it's like, yeah, there is. I haven't even seen the second one because I despise the first one so much.
What was
Oh
it?
my
It was
goodness.
man.
it was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and then Percy Jackson.
Sea of Monsters, I think it
That's
was.
what it was. Sea of Monsters. You're right.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. I thought that first one was so terrible. I never paid attention if they made another.
Exactly.
Wow. I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Oh, I'm looking it up
So
already.
I honestly hope I'm wrong and that it turns out great and it's just like exactly everything that I want it to be, but I'm not holding my breath.
I feel like for Percy Jackson, I don't want it live action. I would love it to be animated instead. I feel like that would capture all of these abilities that these kids have and the actual battles that they go through. I feel like would just be better designed if it's not CGI or live action. I feel like it'd be much better. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's my personal thought on it.
So apparently, I don't know how you want to rate this. If we want to rate this against like the Meg or something, but Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters is rated 42. Actually, hold on, you know what? We don't trust that. We trust. Oh God, nope. It's pretty bad. It's at 54% against audiences and 5.7 with IMDb. So take that as you will.
So wow,
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It came out in 2013 too.
Yeah.
What the heck? Where was I during that time?
Funny thing is, whenever it comes to book or like movie adaptations of books, I always find it funny whenever they don't make it as close to the book as possible, or like at least make changes that make sense or otherwise are good. It's even like Lord of the Rings is not book accurate completely, like 100%, but it is still super good.
Yeah.
Like it's like you think that you should take into mind that every change you make is going to be another criticism against your movie. Just because the audience that you're attracting the most to this movie are the audience that read the books.
Yeah. Well, I think
so
the
that
plus
would be the
side,
most
I think
knowledgeable.
the good
Sorry,
thing
go ahead.
about no, you're good. I think the good thing about not making it truly 100% book accurate for Lord of the Rings is I love the books, but Tolkien goes on and on in some of
Yep.
his scenes where I'm like, "Oh my goodness, do we need to still be talking about this tree like 5 pages later? Like, can we move on?" So it's probably a good thing that they didn't keep it truly book accurate just because of how lengthy all of his books were.
You're just sitting there and you're like,
Hey, Tolkien, can we move on, please? Okay, we get it. It's a tree. Thank you.
Pretty tree. Like the leaves.
Woo!
Let's talk about the tree next to it now.
Yeah.
And there it sat, the tree next to it. Ah, yes, its leaves were green and the bark was falling away because of the winter.
all right.
Well, there's my answers. I don't know if we've heard the answers from you two.
No,
yet.
we haven't.
No,
But,
no,
you know,
no,
we could dive into these conversations forever, though. That's what I love about this podcast. What you got?
Yeah.
What you got, Strawberry?
Keeping with my dinosaur theme, I 100% want a adult only, key emphasis on adult only version of Jurassic Park. I want it to follow the book to the T. These books were creepy, they were scary. There were some scenes that when I first read it, I had to close the book and be like, okay, I'm gonna go watch freaking Lion King to make myself feel better, and then come back to it. And I think the big part of it is a lot of like what you touched on earlier is in these books, the good people died too. The dinosaurs didn't have a preference for the rich bad guy. They were killing everyone and they were eating everyone and they were having a grand time. And I want that. I want it to be creepy, and I don't want these kids to be like, dinosaurs is so pretty. I want them to be afraid. That's what I want.
Here on Jurassic
Yep.
Park, we dinosaurs don't discriminate. If you look tasty, we eat.
Exactly. And some of these scenes that they skipped in the movies, like everyone's biggest pet peeve about how the car got in the tree and the one scene with the T-Rex, why didn't they just follow what happens in the book where the T-Rex picks it up and throws it? Like, why did we
Probably,
push it over the ledge? Like, that makes no sense.
I would probably say probably a technological limit, maybe.
Possibly, but like
throwing
what
a
I said earlier, how I
I
would
don't.
love a drawn, like an animated version, I feel like would be amazing because then we can get all of that without any limitation of people being afraid of being thrown inside of a vehicle. Like,
That is a good point.
yes, and probably as well the kids. It wouldn't be safe to have them inside the vehicle and then be like, let's just chuck it 50 feet and call it good and see what happens.
Crushed by almost glass at a 400-foot pound. Now throw it!
Yeah,
Light
like,
the
let's
truck
do
on
it!
fire!
Exactly. That's what I want. And the second movie doesn't even remotely follow anything that happens in the second book. Like the only same thing is Ian Malcolm and dinosaurs, and that's about it. That's the only thing.
Ian Malcolm, dinosaurs. That's all they got right.
Yeah.
Everything else. What was that movie? What was
Yeah.
this movie? Why did I watch this movie? Good movie though.
Basically. So that's what I would. I want it scary.
Yeah, I
Really
agree.
great.
Jurassic Park is always better when it's very creepy and very
Yes.
extreme.
Yes, exactly. They just the newer ones, they just made it too floofy.
It was
I
so
want to be
floofy.
afraid. Yeah, I want to be
It
afraid,
was
man.
Disney Jurassic Park.
The newer movies, Jurassic World. The only thing good about Jurassic World was Chris Pratt. Everything else horrid. I like even the ideas of the other dinosaurs. Like Rexy was a constant component in Jurassic Park, right? Like if the T-Rex showed up, people were getting fucked up. Excuse me, screwed up. I literally just broke my one rule of like trying.
And once
not to
again,
swear.
we're back to the dinosaur world where people get married and
But yeah, you knew that if the T-Rex showed up, people were getting screwed up. But here they introduced like three different apex predators from the Indominus Rex, the
Giganotus.
Indoraptor, and the Giganotosaurus. And next thing you know, Rexy's screwing them all up, and it's just like, hello. Those are amazing dinosaurs. Why? And they're all apex predators. They're also all better than T-Rexes, even though the T-Rex is cool. Before anyone gets mad at me, T-Rexes are cool, but you've got apex predators. You've got a Velociraptor combined with a bunch of DNA, and you're telling me that a T-Rex can beat that? Wrong. The Indoraptor, again, the Indoraptor was the perfect assassination killing machine, and it just got screwed up because of a window. Also, Claire can go screw herself. That she is the worst written character I've ever read. And then the Atrociraptors in the third movie, where they just have to get their laser pointed at anybody, and the next thing you know, those Atrociraptors knew who was a target. What kind of plot bullshit was that? Oh gosh, dang it, here we go again. I'm breaking all my rules. I'm the one who set these rules, and I'm breaking the rules. Damn. But yeah, the Atrociraptors were butt.
They were pretty though.
They were pretty. They were pretty, and I loved their designs, but the concept of them was horrid. And then
Yeah.
the Giganotosaurus I think the Giganotosaurus got screwed over in that ending movie. So again, the Spinosaurus, the only thing good was the Spinosaurus aegypticus. That was an amazing dinosaur to have in the third and the fifth movie. I said it.
Was it in the fifth?
It was a baby Spino in the fifth when they got locked in the computer room.
I don't remember that. I'd have to watch it again.
You don't remember it because it's
Spinosaurus.
not that memorable.
saying that it's not memorable.
It's not memorable. That's how bad the fifth movie was. It was not that memorable.
The Spinosaurus was that was one thing I did like about it is the fact that I do love Rexy, don't get me wrong, but Rexy was never the top predator
Nope.
on any of the islands. And that was one thing with the newer ones that did drive me up like just insane with all these crazy, like you were saying, all these crazy apex predators that Rexy is not on the top of the food chain but was winning. And I was like, that was one thing that I loved about the Spinosaurus was the fact that it was the top predator and it took down the other predator. Like that's what we're here for is these big dinosaurs going crazy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like we
Yeah.
misled everyone with the title of this show because we're supposed to talk about books and movies, and I feel like all we've talked about is a little bit of Lord of the Rings and a lot of Jurassic Park.
Still a movie and book.
It's
We
still-
are
it still is.
within the scope.
But it's
I
like,
read the book in a day so that I would be prepped for tonight. Okay. Let's be
Wow.
real.
honey, you have read that book so many times that you say you read that book in a day. You could literally read that book on Audible, and you would be the person reading it. You know,
Yeah.
you could recite that book right now on stream. I guarantee it.
I
Anyway.
probably could. The only thing I wouldn't be able to do is the math section. That I skimmed that part. I'm like, yeah, okay, numbers. That's nice. Let's move
I'm
on
sorry,
to
you
the
said
dinosaurs
math in
again.
Jurassic Park? No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh, this is genetics. We don't need math here.
I like mystery, but not math when it comes to working my brain.
Yeah.
During
Imagine
movies, thank you.
Imagine Jurassic Park, but they didn't know who sabotaged the system.
Well, they didn't at first.
Well, no, but I'm getting at
It was
like,
the dinosaurs themselves.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I'm talking like we as the viewer also didn't know who was the actual perpetrator, and it wasn't revealed until the end.
That would be fair. Technically, the perpetrator is Hammond. So.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you read the
It-
books, he was a terrible, like terrible person.
Aren't they all
Yeah.
terrible people though?
No,
If
no.
you,
Alan Grant was an amazing person, and I will die on that hill for him.
I think Alan Grant was an asshole, but anyway.
No, absolutely not. You are wrong.
He was very rude, okay? Anyway,
When was he?
I'm
rude?
sorry, you've seen the movies, you know.
And I will say this kindly: F them kids.
I mean, the glass definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving away from Jurassic Park.
I'll
So
bring it back, my baby.
we probably will. We probably will circle back to.
We'll find a way to
Jurassic
tie it back in.
Park. Always. So who here has seen Clue?
Wait. Like
one?
The actual live action. There's actually a few movies of Clue, but the the original one with Tim Curry.
Yes.
I
That one
have
has
not.
multiple endings, right?
They
That
had
had
3
like 4
endings.
different endings. Oh, 3. Okay.
It had
I
3
did hear
endings.
about that though.
When one was with Miss Peacock, one was with. Oh, hold on. No, one was.
Mr. Green, right?
No, it was
with the
Scarlet.
candlestick.
It was Scarlet, Peacock, and then it was Curry, or it was all of them technically.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is like there's an actual book series. It's 16 books, all with 10 stories in it. So you could turn this into either a live action show or a movie, or you could turn it into an animated show. And I would actually love to see those books because I actually have 9 of them sitting here, which I actually plan on reading for stream one day. I plan on reading like a chapter a night or something to stream or to the channel. But anyway, I'd love to see those because some of the ways that people die in that and like the way the twist at the end with them, they're really good stories. They're really good short stories because I think they're only like I think they're each like 10 pages long or something like that, maybe shorter, sometimes like 8. But they're good follow along stories, and I just would love to see those brought to life because like I said, they're really good. Like Mustard's all military, like he gung ho military, like duel this, sir this. I was a colonel here. I fought in this war here. You have Peacock who's so uppity. You've got Scarlet who's just so sultry. Green who's just an idiot and a greed. Plum who's a witty professor, but he's also really forgetful.
Hey. Sorry, I always play as Plum when I play Clue.
Well,
so.
that's truly his character. Though. He's like he is super smart, but he's very I think he has amnesia a lot. Like he has onset amnesia periodically.
Sounds like
You have Mrs. White who is a salty not waitress, maid. She hates working for Mr. Body, and Mr. Body always dies. But does he die? You never know. But those stories, they were a great part of my childhood. I started reading them right as I got into high school because my sister got rid of all of her books, and I actually wanted them because I love Clue. And if you don't know that I love Clue, you don't know that I love that board game. And I've tried to push people to play that board game with me forever. And I can't get anyone to play it. But anyway,
Hey, if you want to play Clue on what is it, the tabletop simulator sometime, I'd join you.
they have a Steam edition. They have Clue and Cluedo, and they have multiple boards for it. So if you
Well,
want to
there
make
you
that a series, I'm down to make that a series. Like we could just do a 1v1. We get some other people involved. I know a bunch of people who have it.
1v1 murder mystery. It's
Let's-
either you or me, buddy. Which one is it?
But I feel like that would be fun to do. The other one, as most of you guys know, I'm really into Scooby-Doo. And there's a lot of mysteries. There's a lot of books to those as well, where they, again, they're short stories. And again, there's a lot of animated series based upon it. But I feel like some of those older episodes, along with some of the older stories, would be really good to see made into movie. But I'd also like to see with a project where they're brought to more of a live action show on the CW, where it's a bit more adult rated, like what Velma was supposed to be, but not politically based. Like you actually have the gang in their entirety trying to solve mysteries, but they're more like NCIS, CSI. There's a lot of gore to it. There's actual murders, and the gangers like, why did we get ourselves involved in this? And next thing you know, it is a masked killer, and sometimes it's real demons, ghosts, vampires. I feel like that would be so cool to see.
I love that we both picked scary death things, and then Silver was just like, I would love to see some Greek god kids who run around and fight monsters. Like
Pretty on brand here. Everything needs to be edgier. Me, I'm like, I like dragons and minotaurs. And
You're like
I
that
just
kid
wish they were
from,
done better.
you're that kid from Astif. I like trains.
I like brains. I like turtles.
All right, well, let's go ahead and end the show because we do have other stuff we need to accomplish tonight. So with that, we're gonna move into last call. And last call tonight, we're gonna fight.
Eh?
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna fight. Last call is a fight. No, I'm kidding. I kid. All right, last call. Star Wars or Star Trek?
I love both. Why do you make me choose between my babies?
You must choose.
I guess I'd probably have to say Star Wars over Star Trek. But I don't do it happily, I hope you know.
I would say Star Trek. I grew up watching that with my dad every summer when my brothers would go to bed. We would stay up and watch that together. So, yeah, I'm a traitor.
Wow.
Stopper.
Wow.
A
Wow.
Trekker.
Yeah, she's a trucker right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I would,
Nothing wrong. Hey,
I would definitely
I
say
can't blame anybody for any of their answers. Like I said, I love both. So
They
if
are-
you're a
They're both-
Trekkie,
no, they're
go
both
for
great.
it. You're great.
they're both great, but you're wrong if you chose Star Trek. But anyway,
Guess who's sleeping on the couch tonight?
girl, I slept so many times on the couch this week. You can't even stand when I sleep on the couch. Okay, so don't even start with it. But yeah, Star Wars all the way. Love me a good
Just
lightsaber.
remember, the couch can always disappear.
That's true. I got a truck. I got a truck that I can put a bed in. We're fine. I got a truck with a bed. We're fine. Anyway, with that, we're gonna go ahead and end
I have a tent. I have a bedroll.
I got to sleep.
I have some cotton.
I'm about to say I'm in the military. I'll sleep in some dirt. We're fine. We're good. We're good. But anyway, we're gonna go
Extra
ahead and end
Rocky,
this episode of
please.
Tavern Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, leave a like down below if you guys enjoyed the show. Comment what you want to see next or what you want to see us discuss. And above all, make sure you follow and subscribe to the Tavern today so you can see more amazing content that me and my friends create. I love you guys. Hope to see you in the next one. Good night. Say good night, everybody.
Bye.
I love you too.